Turn to Matthew chapter 9. We'll read verses 27 through verse 29. When Jesus departed thence, that is from the house of Jairus, 2 blind men followed him, crying and saying, Thou Son of David, have mercy on us. And when he was come into the house, the blind men came to him. And Jesus saith unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They say unto him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith, be it unto you. I want to consider, believe ye? That's the question that Jesus asked these 2 blind men. They following Jesus, crying, saying, Thou Son of David, have mercy on us. They endured whatever difficulties there were in pursuing him, whatever difficulties there were due to their blindness. And again they cry out, Thou Son of David, have mercy on us. Motivated by their belief concerning him, motivated by their desire to be rid of the darkness that defined their lives. And there they are in pursuit of Christ, seeking a miraculous transformation from him. There's nothing in the account, again, that indicates that Jesus gave any response to their plea until you get to the house. But these 2 continued. Thou Son of David, have mercy on us. Eventually, Jesus arrives at his destination, a house, and these 2 in their blindness continue their plea. They come to him. They continue pleading with him. They're able to draw near to him. And Matthew records in verse 28, Jesus asked them a personal question, followed by their response. And then in verse 29, he touched their eyes in a way that only he could, and said to them, According to your faith, which corresponds with believe ye, according to your faith, be it unto you. And their eyes were opened, and all the joy that filled their hearts as their blinded eyes were opened. We want to look at this question that Jesus asked. A question has a reason or a purpose. Be sure of this. There is a reason. There is a purpose behind a question. Someone asks you a question, and you reply, Why do you ask? And they in turn say, For no particular reason. Baloney. There's always a reason for asking a question. Always. There's always a purpose. There's always a reason and a purpose behind a question, no matter who's asking the question. The reasons and purposes may be multiple. There may be more than one reason or one purpose, but a question is never without reason or purpose. Jesus made use of questions throughout his earthly ministry. He asked people many questions. But he did not, we do know this, he did not ask questions as a means to obtain information. He knew. He didn't need to ask a question for the purpose of information. Now, questions at many times can be used to just bring about a conversation. Well, that's the reason for the question. But again, a question must have a reason. Maybe just a conversation starter. Jesus asked questions. And he had a reason. And he had a purpose for doing so. At times, many times, he asked rhetorical questions to emphasize a point, as a means of persuasion. He asked questions for the purpose of testing. For example, notice in John chapter 6. John 6, verse 5 and 6. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, he saith unto Philip, Whence shall we buy bread that these may eat? And he said this to prove him, to test him, for he himself knew what he would do. He asked questions for the purpose of teaching. He asked questions to bring about personal examination in individuals. He asked questions for the purpose of rebuke and correction. He asked questions to bring about conviction. He asked questions to give opportunity to make personal confession. There's always a reason. You may not think the reason's that big of a deal, and may not be. But there's always a reason. There's always a purpose behind the question. And Jesus asked questions. And here he asked these two blind men, very simple question. Believe ye that I am able to do this? Now, I believe that he asked this question so that they would make personal examination into the matter of the question. I believe he also asked the question to give them an opportunity to confess what they believed. Also, questions are asked to get us to focus, to get our attention on something specific. And I believe that was another reason this question was asked. So, believe ye that I am able to do this? We want to look at that question. Every question has a form. Believe ye that I am able to do this? It's a personal question. Believe ye. Believe ye. Doesn't matter what anyone else in that house believed at that time. That's not what Jesus was asking. He said, believe ye. Making direct reference to the two blind men. Again, there were other people in the house. But the question is to these two. How many times someone asks a question to an individual, there are other individuals around, and other individuals answer the question? Well, the question wasn't asked to you. It was asked to them. Only the blind men could truly answer this question. Believe ye. It's also a very direct question. It's very straightforward. Believe ye that I am able to do this? There's no evasiveness in that question. There's no obscurity in the question. Therefore, they did not respond, well, what do you mean? They knew what he meant. It was a very direct, very straightforward question. It's very plain, very forthright. There could be no confusion, no misunderstanding the question on the part of these two blind men. It is a question requiring a yes or no answer. Needs nothing else. It's yes, it's no. That's the response that Jesus is looking for. The manner of Jesus' question to them, every question, whatever the reason for asking it, every question must have a subject matter. A question cannot be about nothing. It has to be about something. It has to have a subject matter. A question, again, may be inclusive of multiple matters. But Jesus asked these two blind men, believe ye that I am able to do this? So it is a question regarding their personal belief. Believe ye. Believe ye. To believe is to accept something as true. To believe is to hold to something that is true. To believe is to hold to something that is true, genuine, or real. Believe ye. So, in the Word of God, this word believe, of course, is equivalent to faith. To faith. It is inclusive of recognition, acknowledgement of something. Can't be about nothing. It is a question about, do you agree? It's a question about our persuasion, our confidence, what we're depending upon, what we trust in, what we're committed to, what we're surrendered to. Believe. Believe ye. The word believe there is a verb. A verb must have a subject matter. The question that Jesus asked these two is, believe ye that. That. Now the word that follows that would be the object or the subject of belief. Believe ye that. Someone says, do you believe? Your next question is going to be, believe what? It has to. You can't just leave it at, do you believe? There has to be a subject. There has to be an object. So it's important that we follow what comes after that. Believe ye that. And you will see that it is a question, it is a belief concerning Christ's person. Believe ye that, first word after that, I. Believe ye that I? Again, you can ask a question to focus someone's attention upon something. Believe ye that I. Where's their attention? Their attention's been directed to Him. It was already on Him. Believe ye that I. So we can say from that yes, it's a question about their belief, but it's a question regarding Christ. Believe ye that. Believe ye that I am. You could put a question mark right after that. Believe ye that I am. Now notice, believe ye that I am. There are two pronouns, ye and I. So it is a question with regard to their belief concerning Him. Ye, I. The verb, believe, that's the activity of ye. The verb involves ye and the verb involves I. Believe ye that I am. It is a belief also, so it's a belief, it's a question regarding their belief concerning Him, but it's also a question regarding Christ's ability, their belief in Christ's ability. Believe ye that I am. Present tense. Do you believe presently, in your blindness, in your darkness, believe ye that I am, present tense, able to do? Do ye believe right now that I am able to do? So it's a question regarding Christ's present ability. What you believed in the past concerning Christ has nothing to do with the present. The question is, do you presently believe? Believe ye that I am? It is, do you believe that I can right now? Or does something else have to happen? Believe ye that I am able to do? Do you recognize? Do you acknowledge right now that I can? Or does something else have to happen? Are you persuaded? Are you confident that right now I can? Do you trust? Do you accept? Do you hold to the fact that right now I can? That's a good question. Right now I can. Are you surrendered to the fact that right now I can? Because what we believe we're surrendered to. So here's the question. Believe ye that I am presently able to do? Do you believe that? It's stated in Hebrews 7 verse 25. He is, that's present tense, able to the uttermost. Most is a word that speaks of quantity, the highest degree. He's able to the uttermost. He's able beyond that. He's able beyond the highest degree. Do you believe? The most and beyond. He is able to the uttermost. Believe ye that I am able to do. But then notice, it is a belief concerning something very specific. It's not just a general question here. It's a very specific question regarding the ability of Christ. But it's the ability of Christ with regards to something very specific. Notice, believe ye that I am able to do this. This. When you use the word this, that's specific. That's specific. When I say this table, I don't mean that table. It's this table. It's specific. Believe ye that I am able to do this. And a lot of times, we will say, I believe God is able, God is able, but the truth is you don't believe He's able to do this. Yeah, He's able in a general way, but this is something more specific. And in reality, what you believe in generalities doesn't really matter. It's this. Believe ye that I am able to do this. Something very specific. So, we have to ask ourselves, what is this? What is this? Well, they knew. Jesus knew. And I believe we do too. Because in verse 30 it's brought out, their eyes were opened. That's the this. Believe ye that I am able to open your eyes right now? Right now. In your darkness, believe ye that I am able to open your eyes. Do you believe? Right now. Are you persuaded right now? Are you confident right now that I can open your eyes and cure your blindness? Believe ye that I am able to do this. So it's important that we look at that question, because there's a lot to it. Notice the answer of the blind men. Their answer to the question is in the affirmative. And it's in a tone of absolute certainty. Again, Jesus asks very direct questions. Remember the man at the pool of Bethesda. Wilt thou be made whole? That's a yes or no question. But he didn't answer it yes or no. He said, well, when I'm coming down, someone else jumps in. That's not what he asked. He never answered the question. But these two blind men, believe ye that I am able to do this? They say unto him, yea, or yes. Yes. How many times you ask someone a question, but they don't really answer the question? How many times someone asks us a question? We have no intention of answering the question, and most people are satisfied with whatever answer you give them. But again, their response, just like the question, is deeply personal. Whatever anyone else may or may not have believed had no bearing upon what they believed. They say unto him, yea, yes. I believe their answer was unwavering. I believe it was a very decisive response. And it's spoken in a tone of absolute persuasion and conviction. Yea. Yes. It's very direct, just like the question. It's a direct and response, a direct and precise response. Believe ye that I am able to do this? And instead of trying to figure out the logistics of how he might do this, they simply respond, yea. Yea. They, instead of worrying about the mechanics of how he might grant them their sight, they simply respond, yes, we believe. We believe. The basis of their answer. An answer must have, you've got to have a reason for answering as well. They say unto him, Yea, Lord. Yes, we believe because you're Lord. Yea, Lord. Thou Son of David, have mercy on us. You see, their response is based upon what they believed about Him. Yea, Lord. Their response is not based upon how or who, or how but who. It's based upon who He is. They believe that He is able because of who He is. He's Lord. He's Lord. Their answer of yes is rooted in who He is. It's not rooted in the degree of the problem or the difficulty. It's rooted in who He is. It's the same thing that Paul expressed in 2 Timothy 1 verse 12. I know whom I have believed. It's not I know what I have believed. It's I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that He goes back to whom, He is able. Our faith is based upon who He is. It's what we read in Hebrews 11 verse 6. He that cometh to God must believe that He is. He is. It's what you believe about Him. The whom and the He is the sovereign and invincible one. The one who is the Most High. The immutable Almighty One. The always present, all-knowing One. The merciful, gracious, faithful Creator. And Christ asked these two blind men, Believe ye that I am able to do this? And the response is, Yea, Lord. Yea, Lord. Yes, Lord. We believe. Why do you believe? Because of who you are. Because of who you are. Your Lord. So the basis of what they believe concerning their circumstances and their situation goes back to who He is. It's not based upon their situation. How many times our belief is based upon our situation? And it needs to be based upon who He is. The focus and the emphasis. Read their response. Yea, Lord. Very simple response. 2 words. Yea, Lord. The focus, the emphasis is not their blindness. That's not the focus and emphasis. But it's who He is. Who He is. Faith acts upon whom we know. Whom we know. Not what we know. We may not know why. We may not know what or where. But we do need to know whom. That's what we need to know. Whom? Faith trusts. Faith relies and rests on whom? Faith lays hold of whom? Faith sees whom? Faith anticipates whom? Biblical faith has its basis in whom? Not what. It's Hebrews 13, 5 and 6. He hath said. He, that's whom? He hath said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee, so that we may boldly say. We can boldly say based upon what? He hath said. He hath said. It's not based upon our personal experience. It's not based upon the situation. It's based upon Him. So we'll make a little application and then close. These two blind men, very much aware of their condition. They deeply feel their condition. Very much aware of their need. They feel their need. They're aware and feel their unworthiness. Yet, they had a belief rooted in who Christ was. Rooted in what Christ could do. And that belief compelled them to pursue Christ. Compelled them. They're not going in several different directions looking for a solution. They're going in one direction. Faith doesn't send you in search for answers from all other people. Faith compels you to pursue Christ. They were looking only to Him. Only to Him. They were focused upon Him. And they persevered. Faith will persevere. Again, it doesn't appear. There's no indication up until the time they got to the house that Jesus ever responded to them. That doesn't matter to faith. Faith keeps on. But today, Lord doesn't answer within 2 minutes. We're on to something else. Well, I got to go talk to so-and-so. Faith believes who He is. Faith has no other options. They had a belief that compelled them to cry out to Him concerning their need. They weren't talking to anyone else in the multitude. Hey, do you think you could help me with my blindness? Do you know anything about it? Well, I have a friend. And he was blind, and what he did was he washed his eyes in this solution. They weren't looking for those kind of answers. Because they had faith. They knew Christ was the only one who could solve their problem. They had a faith that would not allow them to quit. They had a faith that would not allow them to lose sight of Him. And when it comes to their own personal difficulties and trials and afflictions, insurmountable obstacles, they were grounded in who He was. That's where we need to be grounded. Who He is. Who He is. What they believed concerning Christ was manifest in their lives. Believe ye that I am able to do this? Yea, Lord. Sitting in the house of God, it's easy to answer that question. Yes, Lord, I believe. When everything is going well, just like you want it to go, oh yeah, I believe. When you're enjoying rest, when you're enjoying good health, and abundance and friends, yes, Lord, I believe. But what about in the midst of turmoil, and difficulties, and problems, and stress? Our faith needs to be based on Him. Who He is circumstances has no bearing upon. Faith is not based on our circumstances. Who He is. How often we fall into the trap of how. Well, yeah, I know the Lord can, but how? You don't need to know. How often we fall into the trap of trying to figure out the logistics and the mechanics of how, rather than just trust Him. Just trust Him, who He is. Regardless of condition, need, or circumstance, hear Him ask, believe ye that I am able to do this? And may we, with them, absolute assurance and conviction, say, yea, Lord. Yea, Lord. And then notice after these two blind men answered, yea, Lord, the Lord touched them and He said, according to your faith, be it unto you. That tells me that there are degrees of faith. According to your faith, be it unto you. But it also tells us the importance of the degree of our faith. According to your faith. That's a declaration that faith serves as a connector. According to your faith. And there is a connection between our degree of faith and our dedication and our commitment and surrender to God. The more we believe, the easier it is to surrender. The more we believe, the more dedicated and committed we will be. Lord, increase our faith. There is a connection between our pursuit of God and our proportion of faith. Well, I just don't pursue God like I ought to. Why not? Because there's a problem with your faith. According to your faith. There's a connection between our degree of nonconformity to the world and our transformation to Christ to our proportion of faith. There's a connection between our prayer life and faith. There's a connection between our love to the Lord and faith. There's a connection to our enjoyment of God and faith. according to your faith. Oh, for more faith. For more faith in Him. In Him. It's faith in Him that will keep you near to Him. It'll keep your hearts tender and responsive to Him. It's what keeps our minds upon Him. It's what keeps our feet following Him. According to your faith, be it unto you. Oh, how important is faith. Believe ye that I am able, right now, to do this. Whatever your this is. Be something different with every one of us. May be something different 10 minutes from now. That's not the issue. The issue is, do you believe that right now I'm able to do this, whatever this is? Brother Dave, if you come and lead us in verses